Okay, we are graphing rational functions, really basic. Are you ready?
Wait.
No? Okay. Well, my knees hurt a lot less when I sit down for a while. Graph paper would be helpful, since we're requiring it on every graph. Sam, you just keep working on what I have you working on. No. Does anybody know? Does anybody know what an asymptote is?
I feel like I should.
It is a vertical or horizontal line that a graph approaches, but there always is a but, even if it's a person, but never touches. No. It'd be like pushing a rock uphill but never reaching the top.
Okay, so pushing a rock up.
We'll reach the top eventually. Just a really steep. A perfect 90-degree angle.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, good. Reach up there. You said you like
Oh, it's a line. Oh, that
All right. Put that on your paper. Let me just summarize. No. That would take too long. Let me sum up. Okay, that is a horizontal asymptote because the graph approaches it but never touches it.
I feel like you should say graph. Because that's not a graph is the actual
Yeah.
The horizontal asymptote is a line that the graph approaches but never touches. What's the equation of that horizontal asymptote? No, just the blue horizontal line, not the purple, just the blue horizontal line. It's what? Y equals 2. The slope is 0. The y-intercept is 2, right? This is a vertical asymptote at x equals what? -1. That's 1 to the left.
Can you explain the vertical one?
Yeah, we're at -1 on the x-axis. X equals -1. And it's, again, a line that the graph approaches but never touches. Okay. Do you remember what domain is and range?
The domain is all the x's, range is all the y's.
Okay, Tristan. The domain is the x's. So what x values, how do we describe the domain in this problem? No. -1 is not a part of the domain because the graph never touches it.
Let's say -2.
Okay, that's one possibility.
Say all numbers besides that.
Okay, what are those numbers called? All. Do you remember your number sets? Okay, that's one of them, not the right one, but that's one of them. Irrational whole integers. Keep going.
Real?
Real numbers, thank you.
Yeah.
All real numbers except what? -1. Because that x value is not on the graph.
I feel like you should be more specific because I just say -25 and it's not -1.
Right, it's a real number.
Oh, okay.
All real numbers. Like everything except -1.
-2 is a real number? Why?
Okay, what's the range?
All real numbers except negative.
Yep. Remember that R with the 2 bars means real? Gabby? Because the line never touches that x value. The graph doesn't ever touch that x value.
What does that R mean?
It's the vertical asymptote. Yeah, it does. All of them. Gabby, give me an x value that you think that graph doesn't touch. You betcha. Yep, okay. It's problem solved. It goes on forever in each direction. All right, so graph. Now we're going to apply those definitions. Yeah, well, you don't have a choice. No, you do have a choice. Okay. Now I'm waiting. Okay. This is a horizontal asymptote. That's y equals 2. All we've done is translated the graph. We've scooted it up 2 spots. Easy enough? Okay. Where is that undefined? If I divide by what? In math, it's undefined. 3, really? Somebody said it. 0. You divide by 0. There you go. If x is 0, that's undefined. So we have a vertical line at x equals 0. And we have a horizontal line at y equals 2. We've just created our brackets for this function, for the graph. Now we just need to make sure our orientation is correct. Can somebody tell me why it shows 1 and negative 1? They are simple and they're easy. And there's a really big reason. What's the vertical asymptote? And what do you... They're on either side of the vertical asymptote. So we're testing 1 on the left and 1 on the right. It's just going to give us orientation here. So if I plug 1 in, what's my y value? Somebody said 5. If I plug negative 1 in, I get... So... Okay, those dots just tell me this. I'm not asking you to be extremely precise today. You're just sketching it. You just need orientation and you sketch it. It tells you what quadrant to put the graph in. Gabby.
How do you know that 1 is negative 1 over there?
Well, we know that 1 is a part of the domain, right? Because the domain's all reals except 0. So if I plug 1 into the equation, it gives me where it rests on the y-axis, y value. We know it crosses 1, yes? To find where it crosses 1, plug it into the equation.
But what if it curves?
It won't, because that's what the equation tells it to do. At 1, 3 divided by 1 plus 2 is 5. At 2, you're making this harder than it needs to be. Here. Sorry. Okay, what's the domain? Trevor, domain. Except what? Nope. What number are we excluding today? What x value does that graph not hit? No. That's the y value. 0. And the range?
-2.
It's positive 2 because that's where the horizontal is. The vertical's at 0. That's what defines our domain. Aight? One more. Oh, stop it. 0 doesn't make it undefined at the bottom. Negative 0.
Negative something.
Yeah,
One.
I know.
When I'm good.
Pretty sure I know that. Waiting for you, waiting for you. Okay, where's my horizontal asymptote? Okay. Okay. Where's my vertical asymptote? No. 1 plus 1 is 2. What do I need to make the bottom? The denominator of that fraction needs to be, what can't we divide by? 0. Okay, so what makes 0? Negative 1. Yeah, but you were guessing. So negative 1 plus 1 is 0. That's our, yes.
Does it always have to be like 0 on the bottom?
Yes. Now we need to orient it. What are my x values that I want to choose? Negative 2 is a good one. I'd prefer 0. Not that it matters, but 1 would work as well. Negative 3 as well. So if I plug 0 in, I get negative 5. And negative 2 is negative 1. That's where those dots are, so now I can just kind of sketch my graph. Again, not being perfect today.
Okay. Yes, I got that. Yeah.
Taylor, what's the domain? Negative 1. So the domain has to do with the vertical asymptote. The range. Lots of you are eager. Just shout it out. Is this easy enough? Is the content grade on this okay?
Yeah.
You'll probably finish it before class is out and you have 20 minutes. If you finish early, I'm going to put some practice up from the first 2 pages. No, you're going to do it. You're just going to do it because it's going to take you 5 minutes, and if it doesn't, I have 2x4s in my room.
Is that a threat?
It's a promise.
How long do you want them? 4 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot?
4 is about right. but I'm going to break it in two.
He's in.
I could.
I'm guy, but.
You probably would. What?
There's no way you can other than 0.
Right.